All right, man. Look at this. All right, we covered the Daniel Penny and Jordan Neely situation. If you haven't been caught up on it, basically, Jordan Neely was a mentally ill black man in New York on a New York subway doing mentally ill, homeless, dumb nigga shit, right? But he wasn't messing with anybody. He was just being a weird, deranged homeless man. We see weird, deranged homeless men all the time. Especially in New York, that's the norm. New Yorkers they're not sitting there like, oh my god, they're used to shit like that. There was no proof that Jordan Neely put hands on anybody that day. I don't care about his past. Fuck all that extra ass shit. We don't care about his past because white men can do anything that they can shoot up schools and they don't get killed. They can shoot up schools, they can rape children, and they do not get killed. They barely get harmed by the actual law. But anyway, besides that, Jordan Neely was a homeless man, being a deranged homeless man. He had a very much a mental illness, and I think he's a Marine or some shit. Daniel Penny snuck up behind him and choked him out and killed him. That's what happened. They want to go the George Floyd route and be like, don't believe the shit that was on camera. Believe us. He died from drugs. No, he didn't die from just drugs. He died from his brain not getting any oxygen because he was getting choked out. He died from his brain being deprived of oxygen because he was getting choked out by a man of the name of Daniel Penny. I cannot wait. And I saw a tweet, I can't find it. These motherfuckers are so delusional. That's why I never refer to myself as a Republican, and I'm leaning towards conservatism, but I'm not a conservative. I love the fact that Trump won because if we're gonna have white supremacy, I want to have my white supremacy without the side of communism. So yeah, I'm gonna choose to vote for Trump. I'm not gonna vote for communism. You're not gonna fuck over this country before you pay us our money. You got me fucked up. But anyway, I saw the tweet. They were like, "Oh," they were basically pretending that Daniel Penny got a innocent verdict. You're retarded. He's going to get a guilty verdict if there's any justice in this white supremacist society, and not really. But let's see if they do the right thing and they actually give him his years. He needs some football numbers because he did go up and kill that man unnecessarily. He did not need to hold that chokehold for as long as he did, and he knows that. But understand this. As soon as the news broke out and this story hit, Daniel Penny got a whole bunch of money. He basically became, I don't think a millionaire, but he got over $1 million in donations for what he did. They think that he's a hero. White society thinks that Daniel Penny is a hero. Get this. I really want you to picture Daniel Penny as a black guy. Do you think that white society, do you think that white conservatives would be backing Daniel? Let's say Myron Gaines. Let's say it's Myron Gaines. Do you think white conservatives will be backing Myron Gaines with this much money, with this much support, if he did what Daniel Penny did? This dude got nearly $3 million, basically became a millionaire overnight for choking out a black man. Do you think Daniel Penny would get this amount of support right here, especially monetary support? They barely want to give a nigga a tweet. They barely want to give motherfuckers justice by actually saying the right thing. Do you think he would get financial support like that if he was a black man? No, it would be chalked up as, oh, those are two niggers fighting. Fuck them. But yeah, let's get down to this article real quick. Daniel Penny's family praying for him as his trial is set to go to the jury. His strength has encouraged us. Now, I wish Daniel Penny's family praying for him as his trial is set to go to the jury. His strength has encouraged us. Now, I really wish Amber Geiger, I really wish the family that was hugging up on Amber Geiger and cooning out, talking about I forgive you after murdering their family member, I really wish they had this same energy. Because if you think that Jordan Neely, if you think he would have choked this guy out and killed him, and that this family would sit there being like, I forgive you, yeah, nah, you're delusional. But yeah, the family's supposed to care for, of course, you know, that makes sense, alright? I can't even go ahead and be like, oh, that's racism right there. That's called sticking together and being on code. No matter how wrong this guy is, his family's always gonna be in his pocket. Alright? I really wish Bradent John had the same fucking energy for his family member that was killed by Amber Geiger. But no, the coon gene is a real thing. Now, let's go down to this. I'm about to end this video. Let's go down Twitter and let's see all the vitriol and hatred that white people truly have for black people. White conservatives in particular. Really white liberals too. I don't see any white liberals actually sitting there reposting. This shit's about to be over. I don't see any trending posts about it. I don't see anything that's actually talking about it. No liberals. Liberals are sitting there virtue signaling about Trump all fucking day. Not a word about this shit. Not a word about Daniel Penny. Not a word. I read that closing arguments will begin next week. It hasn't gone to jury yet. Absolutely should be an innocent verdict. Daniel Penny is a hero. Daniel Penny is a hero. I understand that the verdict will be next week against Daniel Penny, who is a hero. But if he's found guilty, self-defense will be made illegal because a precedent will have been set. Penny should never have been charged, but for the fact that he's white and Neely was black. Self-defense. First of all, New York isn't even a stand your ground state. New York isn't even a state where you can do shit like that. Second of all, it wasn't even self-defense. If Daniel Penny was attacking someone that wasn't trying to kill somebody and take their life, like Daniel Penny obviously was trying to do with Jordan Neely and he succeeded, they would have pushed Jordan Neely, beat the fuck out of him, beat the brakes off him, right? But they wouldn't have sat there and choked him until he died. If you go to the video, there were a couple people that were like, stop, he's not breathing, all that. He knew what he was doing. But you got James Leonard over here, 30, living in the utopian Marxist bubble known as Park Slope, Brooklyn, conservative by common sense thought. So this guy thinks he's on the right side of history by calling a murderer a hero. Both sides of the political spectrum have their retards. I wonder if things will fizzle out or explode. Waiting now for a verdict in the Daniel Penny trial. A black man died after being restrained by a white man. A black man died after being restrained by a white man. Look at this shit. After being restrained by a white man. So what they want us to believe, they don't want to repost the video or nothing. What they really want us to believe is that Daniel Penny simply held Jordan Neely down and he just died of drugs. They want us to believe this shit. See, what this really is, they want get back for that George Floyd shit. They're angry about Derek Chauvin. They're angry about that because one thing about white society, they want to make sure that they are able to kill. They are able to kill a black person and get away with it. That is how you test the waters to make sure white supremacy is still intact. That's how you make sure that you're able to kill. There was some old truck driver, black dude, right? He had gotten killed in a small town. This town had a population of about 1,000. I'm gonna cover this too. A population of about 1,000 people, not even. And nobody knows who did it. Now this town, of course, that had about a population of 1,000 was mostly white people in that town, right? It doesn't take a rocket scientist to notice pattern recognition. You guys want to sit here and be like, oh, you people in Chicago, the black people in Chicago, St. Louis, they're wildin'. Yeah, the black immigrants in Chicago and St. Louis are wildin'. Those are Caribbean and African tethers bringing their third world ways over to the first world. That's why we have a delineation movement, and we should have had a delineation movement a century ago. There shouldn't have been a clear distinction that black Americans, American descendants of slaves, are American descendants of slaves. They need to have that distinction, because when you don't, you get black people, black Americans mixed up with black immigrants and black tethers, and they all get meshed together and they become one big nigga. So now all the bad shit that niggas do, that immigrants, black immigrants do, is just now labeled as, oh, that's all black people. No, that's all immigrants. Seriously, go search up most of the crimes that you see at the articles that have those black people committing murders, committing any type of crimes. Look at their last name, look at their background. 9 times out of 10, they're a fucking immigrant. They have an immigrant background most of the time, because we appreciate this land, because we built this country. Yeah. Anyway, a couple more tweets. Okay, so they wanna compare shit, right? Brooklyn subway stabbing charges dropped against Jordan Williams. Brooklyn subway stabbing. So let's search that up real quick.
Turned out to work in my favor.
A chaotic chapter in the life of 20-year-old Jordan Williams from St. Albans, Queens is now over. Williams was arrested and charged with manslaughter. A grand jury believed Williams and refused to indict him.
I'm happy that I can get on with my life the way I'd like to.
Law enforcement sources over. Williams was arrested and charged with manslaughter for stabbing 36-year-old Victor Udrago to death on a J train in
Victor Udrago? Hold on. Did I hear that name right?
Brooklyn.
Let's dive deep into this shit, because they think we can't search shit up. They think we don't pay attention. That sounds like an immigrant. That sounds like a illegal that he hurt and killed in self-defense.
Is now over. Williams was arrested and charged with manslaughter for stabbing 36-year-old Victor Udrago to death.
Victor Udrago.
On a J train in Brooklyn 2 weeks ago. From the beginning, Williams said he acted in self-defense.
I was scared in that situation.
A grand jury believed Williams and refused to indict him.
I'm happy that I can get on with my life the way I'd like to.
Now, does this seem like a derelict dude? Does this seem like some gangbanger, some ignorant nigga that just wants to cause violence? No, this seems like a young guy that's just trying to live his life. They come from third world countries, and they're willing to, they don't give a fuck. They don't care. Now, I'm not even gonna dive deep into who he stabbed, who he killed, because it's over with. Let's see this.
Sources tell News 4 that on the night of the deadly stabbing, Udrago was harassing strap hangers, acting erratic, and punched Williams' girlfriend, Yasmin.
Punched Williams' girlfriend. Punched his girlfriend. They think we can't search up and look at this shit. They want us to just look at some shit like this. They want us to look at, hold on. They want us to just look at this shit and be like, oh, the black guy got off, but the white guy's having trouble. Oh my God. They don't want to mention the actual details. They think we're retarded. So on the right, let's put it into the context. On the right, you got a young man here who was traveling with his girlfriend. He was on the train, and it was said that this man had punched his girl. It was reported, right? I'm sure they asked everybody else that was around, and they basically said the same thing, correct? Because they don't just drop shit because they just, oh, you're black, so here. That's never happened ever in the history of this fucking country. Ever. Get the fuck out of here. That's happened for white people, though. So we have people that actually say, yeah, he was, all we got from the Daniel Penny and Jordan Neely situation is that Jordan Neely was harassing people. Not that he was putting hands on people, that he was harassing people. But this guy is literally he's literally stabbed this guy to death, some fucking illegal, that literally hurt his girlfriend. This is a young dude. You messing with a young dude's girl? Oh man, you kidding me? Ain't it from New York? You're playing with fire. You're playing with fire. But and on the left we got Daniel Penny right here. Some hungry homeless dude that has mental issues was making a big ass scene. And this guy didn't like that guy. He was like, I could get away with a kill here. You know, he has a military background. He's like, he's on go mode. His brain is wired a certain way. Especially with the white supremacy that's in his mind, that he knows he's the white supremacist system that he knows he's in. Yeah, he's chilling. He's like, yeah, I can get away with this kill. Yeah, I can. That's his mentality. This guy's traveling with his girlfriend. Some dude punches his girlfriend. That's real self-defense. You jumping on and hitting on somebody that you know, and you like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna kill you. You should be able to do that. I said earlier, I don't know if New York City is a stand your ground state or not, but self-defense is self-defense. Anyway, I'm done talking about this topic. Conservatives are so disingenuous. Liberals are disingenuous. People can be disingenuous in general. In general, you just have to do your own research and trust basically 10% of what people say. The other 90, you got to do your own research. And with that, I'm out.